Hi, this is Shu with a review of some oldies but goodies. Steve Nash and his people thought he was past his prime, but he actually had his best run in the playoffs wearing these. In the 2010 NBA playoffs, he beat his arch nemesis. He was always thwarted by the Spurs, either because he got injured and he couldn't play, so the team fell, or or something close to that. It was usually Steve Nash being unable to play because of some hard fouls by the Spurs. This time, in 2010, the Suns swept the Spurs quite easily, and Steve Nash led the charge by shooting a lot more, and he proved his scoring prowess is unrivaled, unparalleled, unrivaled in some sense, showing glimpses of the future of basketball, where the point guards play more of a dual role of scoring other than just orchestrating the offense. And of course, Steve Nash is a wizard in terms of leading the players and orchestrating the offense. So this logo is a S and N together there, Steve Nash logo. Steve Nash did not exactly had a great signature. He had the Zoom MVPs that was considered his first signature, but it wasn't a great pair of shoes and it looked quite ugly. This actually looks pretty cute. Steve Nash is really into skateboarding, so they implemented his love for skateboarding by making a shoe that looks like the Nike SBs. You can tell by the really thick tongue. It's really well padded. At first, I was a little turned off, but then I realized this is a part of the charm of the shoe, that it's a skateboarding shoe, basketball shoe that looks a lot like skateboarding shoes. Even in the heel, they implemented it, so it's a lot softer, so you won't have anything chafing into your Achilles heel. And there's a nice little minimal padding all around the ankle, so it's good. Nothing cuts into you. Overall, it's some type of leather. It's not crazy heavy. It's not very breathable, though. It's not exactly a breathable leather. And I love the fact that they put patent leather, the shiny, glossy leather on this part and the heel as well. The fit itself, you need to go up at least half a size, but I didn't know that back then. I just was excited to get this shoe, and it was really cheap, like less than $50. So I got it and I wore it, and I realized I kept getting some blisters around my pinky toe in that area. So I should have gone up half a size. What you can see here, it's Cushlon. Yes, this whole shoe, it's Cushlon. So you can actually feel that cushioning in the heel and the forefoot as well. Minimal, but it's there. What I knew later is that you actually needed to swap it up with some good insole. But unfortunately, I did not have that knowledge back then. So I wore it with the minimal EVA insole they gave me, and I thought the cushioning was not sufficient for some hardcore basketball pounding. But then, if I had the chance, I would get this up half a size and put some decent, even polyurethane insoles would do wonders with this plush level of Cushlon that's been implemented. So these days, you'd say you see shoes that says Cushlon, but you don't really feel that much different from EVAs or rigid injected Phylon. So anyway, I love how they say refresh together with the fresh. The outsole is pretty interesting. It looks like it's too minimal to provide adequate traction for basketball, but you are wrong. Maybe it's the compound that they use for the outsole rubber. Maybe it's the minimal traction that's doing maximum being efficient and maximizing its capabilities in some sense. The traction was awesome in this shoe, so it was understandable how Steve Nash wore it all the way to the conference finals and almost beat the LA Lakers and almost got an NBA title. This little heel part, I love this little logo, this little guy, basketball. It's a face with a mohawk and a swoosh headband. That's cute. This little part is actually directly connected to the Cushlon midsole, so you can feel it. It's so soft. So yeah, this is one of my regrets. I wish I've gotten half a size bigger. I wish I've hauled in a lot more because it was so cheap. I had the white colorway, but I gave it away to a friend, unfortunately. Zoom Go Low was the shoe that he wore in the next season, but it did not have as much of an impact as this one on me, because I thought this was softer, comfortable, better traction, and it's very unique, and it screams, this is Steve Nash. And he actually went further in the playoffs wearing these. While he was wearing the Zoom Go Lows, he actually managed to be a mentor to a lot of centers that many people thought were useless, like Robin Lopez and Marcin Gortat, until they went through Steve Nash, until they went through the system that Steve Nash has to offer, and the knowledge and wisdom they shared with them, and of course the confidence boost that Steve Nash provided to them. They were just garbage men. They just played minimal minutes. They were just bodies to be there for their star big man to practice against. But thanks to Steve Nash, their career turned around after that. This is Zoom Go Low. It's sort of like a takedown version of an Huarache shoe that they released a year before, and the cushioning, just a Zoom Air on the forefoot. It's like a coin-sized Zoom Air. I thought it was a big fat Zoom Air, but I was wrong. And on the heel, it's just EVA or Phylon or something like that, but it's not too bad, but it gets compressed very quickly, so they're worn out very quickly. The traction is very awful, although it looks like they're good. Maybe it's the rubber compound, maybe it's the way the grooves are shaped or the direction they're facing, but it's not good. But one saving grace is they have amazing outrigger. Look at this, it's huge. Huge outrigger. They should do more of this in the future, Nike. It's low cut, but it's nicely patterned all around, so you don't feel it cutting into your ankle or any part of your Achilles or whatnot. Steve Nash, he had a different version of this. This doesn't have the Nash logo of approval, but it's exactly the same shoe. But Steve Nash, he actually had a pair that used recycled materials for the upper, so you'll see a lot of stitches. He was very much an advocate for going green. What else can I say about this shoe? It's cheap, it's not great, but this is a tragic direction that Nike has decided to take because it actually worked. Just minimal forefoot coin-sized Zoom Air on the forefoot and nothing on the heel, and they thought that was okay, and they continue to think that's okay, so we keep seeing shoes with just weird Zoom Air on the forefoot and nothing in the heel, even for something that should be more elite or premium, like the Freak 2s. The heel is hard as rock, just minimal Zoom Air on the forefoot. Nike, let's not keep going on that direction. Anyway, yeah, that's Steve Nash's some of the memorable signatures shoes that I have in my possession. I think they are better than the actual signatures that Nike released for Steve Nash, called the Zoom MVPs. They're ugly and they're not that comfortable.